Alright, I'm Chris Bohr, and here's my weekly video. Sorry for being a bit late. Guess I'll start off with my notebook. What I did, discussion board, syllabus, VPython. I know my handwriting's pretty bad though. So, discussion board, spent relatively 1-3 hours on it, just engaging in discussion material about other students' backgrounds in the intro thread, technology used in the course, and of course physics, what is reality, and such. Then I went through what I did first was a syllabus, went through an hour, carefully read through it, dissected it so I can be prepared what's in the class. VPython, I spent relatively 6 hours, just, was very interested in it, getting used to the programming language. And then I did all the lessons and included challenges. In last lesson, I finally implemented physics into my program, specifically velocity. Can make objects move in any direction in a 3-dimensional space, and give it a speed by assigning it a vector, essentially magnitude and which direction it goes. Fumbled a bit on the third lesson because I was trying to create a C with one of those partial helix things, but I couldn't get it turned the right way. So, because I couldn't get positioned correctly, I eventually just resorted to using the shapes. It's also the first time I've worked with a Z-axis, so that was kind of confusing to get used to. And just especially since I'm not a real visual person. The question I had was still kind of iffy on what's the difference between a position and its axis, because it's two different controls or elements of the object that just kind of confused how they manipulate. Second page of stuff. Animoto, spent about like 20 minutes on that, real simple. Just gathered various forms of media, briefly introduce myself. Neat videos, watched a couple of videos, watched one where one of the students posted about gravity, how to implement that into VPython. Watched and uploaded one about position, velocity, and acceleration, kind of just what we went over in the spiral kinematics handout. And of course I went over the actual spiral kinetics the handout, and I just kind of made some brief notes. I didn't spend a whole lot of time, maybe like 3 to 4 hours total, kind of grokking it, however you pronounce it, grok. Fairly familiar with the stuff, so drew it's the example of when the basketball hits the ground. It only has force, simply speaking, simple terms, it only has force when it hits the ground. It doesn't have force when the ground has force on the basketball only when they come in contact with each other. Then kinematics it's basically just motion, how we describe it, and it consists of 3 different things: position, velocity, and acceleration. Position is location of the object relative to the coordinate system. If you don't have a coordinate system, then it's all useless. It's represented by a lowercase r. Then made some notes on velocity equation and acceleration. Velocity is the rate and the direction at which position is changing. Final position can be either positive or negative, depending on how you define it in the coordinate system. Say if I want to go right, that's my it's my intended direction, it's going to be positive. If I'm going left, so that's going to be negative. It just really depends how you define your coordinate system. That's represented by a v. Acceleration, a bit more tricky. It's the rate at which velocity is changing. And I took Calc 1 last semester, and if I didn't take that class, I'd probably have a real difficult time explaining this, or explaining and understanding. Basically, do a bunch of velocity graphs, and it's acceleration, because it's the derivative. First one, velocity. You see the velocity is increasing at an increasing rate, so obviously if it's increasing, the acceleration, you're going to have to be accelerating the whole time, and if it's increasing at an increasing rate, so you get faster velocities, you're going to have about the same graph. So the first two right there, and then the second one, velocity is increasing constantly, but it's not increasing at an increasing rate, it's increasing at a constant rate, so therefore the acceleration is the same throughout. Here's an example where the acceleration is non-zero, but it's still slowing down. So just because you have acceleration, it doesn't mean you're necessarily speeding up. In this case, you're slowing down, you're decreasing at a decreasing rate, and that's why acceleration is negative, but non-zero. Alright, and here's an example of a positive acceleration, but slowing down. So you can even have positive acceleration but you're still slowing down, because say you're getting closer to your object but you're slowing down. Let's say you're coming towards going to work or something, so you see the velocities, you get closer to work, you get off a highway or something, you get closer, slower speed limits, so you're going to decelerate and slow down, but the acceleration is still positive because you're moving a positive direction in the x-axis. I have a couple others, like say velocity is constant. Say you drive 60 speed throughout your trip, obviously you're going to have no acceleration, so it's zero, and that's why you see nothing there. And of course, it's important to note that deceleration and negative acceleration are not the same, because you can decelerate, such as this example right here. There we go. Still positive, but you're decelerating. Okay. Kind of spent a little bit longer than I expected, but let me just show you my VPython programs real fast. Alright. This is not my first one. There we go. Spare, pretty straightforward. Boom. Second, shape creation. Contrary to me, like Saturn right there, planet of the ring. Third program, make my initials. This one I spent a while on, because like I said previously, couldn't get that curve right there that I wanted. Just settled with that. Fourth program. Oh, that's with trails. I also have one without trails, but I think you get the idea. But either way.